Flowers bloom and tears fall at the same time. Amid the wavering mist and wind of life, there are feet that have grown weary yet must keep walking. Hearts that have gone dry yet must keep loving. Dreams left unfinished that still long to bloom at least once. And in moments like these, we realize that the ancient words of meditation are not distant at all. Flowers bloom when conditions are sufficient. Tears fall when the heart is deeply touched. Some people live through half a lifetime before understanding that flowers and tears are not opposites at all. Flowers are not merely beauty or laughter. They are the freshest, most alive part of the inner world, and tears are not merely pain or loss. They are the final softness that appears when the heart no longer runs from the truth. Flowers bloom in life, light as a breeze brushing past the pages of an old book, recalling seasons of happiness we once knew. Tears fall within the soul, quiet as night rain on a porch roof, awakening chapters of life we thought were forgotten, yet have always flowed silently within the cells of consciousness. We long for a home, for a heart willing to pause for our sake. We long for achievement, for a place to stand in this complicated current of life. We long for peace after long months of inner upheaval. But meditation teaches. Every dream has its price, and the greatest price is always oneself. No happiness is cheap, and no path is free of the sweat of diligence. A flower will never bloom if one morning lacks sunlight, and tears will never fall if the inner world has never reached the limits of endurance. Yet precisely because of this, every tear that seeps into Mother Earth becomes nourishment for future seasons of flowers. Flowers bloom from suffering, and tears open the door to awakening. Meditation does not deny suffering, nor does it demand that we turn into stone to endure life. Meditation whispers only one simple instruction: look deeply. When we look deeply, we see that every wound has its own voice. And sometimes the deepest cut opens the gentlest path. One who passes through suffering with patience, without blaming heaven, without resenting others, quietly tending the heart, will witness a quiet miracle. Flowers blooming right on the ground once torn apart by hardship. No despair is meaningless. Every fracture prepares the way for a stronger current, just as a seed must be surrounded by darkness before it can break through toward the light. In meditation, this is called fearlessness. Not fearing pain, not fearing tears, not fearing loneliness, not fearing silence, not fearing misunderstanding. For it is precisely these things that form the most enduring strength. The strength that allows flowers of the heart to bloom not loudly, but deeply, steadily, as if they have passed through countless seasons of trial. One day, those who have known enough suffering come to understand. Tears do not fall to make us weak, but to make the heart transparent. Just as a lake becomes clear only when it settles, a person sees the true nature of happiness only by allowing emotional storms to settle. At this point, flowers and tears are no longer separate ideas. Flowers are smiles that have passed through suffering. Tears are suffering that has learned how to smile. When the heart is illuminated, everything appears as it truly is, without embellishment, without avoidance, without strain, without illusion. Flowers and tears merge into a still breath. In the end, when footsteps soften, the breath grows deep, and the mind becomes like the sky after rain. We realize what every meditation master has said. Life itself is not suffering. We suffer only because we cling too tightly. We cling to pain, thinking it will make us strong. We cling to a person and believing they will stay forever. We cling to a dream, believing it is the only path to wholeness. But seen through meditation, all these are merely flowers that will fade and tears that will dry. What remains is understanding. Understanding that everything depends on conditions. Understanding that flowers bloom only with enough sunlight. Understanding that tears fall only when the heart touches a truth long avoided. Understanding that happiness is not found by avoiding suffering, but by walking through it with awareness. When one sees clearly, breathes mindfully, lives attentively, and places each step in awareness, flowers naturally turn into blessings, and tears naturally transform into peace. No bitterness remains. No resentment remains. No fear remains. Only a gentle completeness, light as the first cloud above a mountain ridge. I have lived in the way a human being truly can. Flowers and tears merge like two halves of one heart. Flowers speak of what we aspire toward. Tears speak of what we have passed through. Together, they illuminate one thing alone: the maturation of the heart. One who understands this walks through life lightly, as if stepping on fallen leaves, even when storms rage around them, even when trials lie ahead. For within them, flowers have bloomed, and within them, tears have turned into light.